results from the WCQ actual stories I've read from people are going to be talking about a few things that are probably going to be impacting the creation of the next ban list. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more on this content. We're going to be talking about Thrust over here to start. So where all this came from, I was reading a breakdown thread talking about Nationals and some of the takeaways, and they were talking about how Thrust is one of the most powerful cards that has been made in modern era history. And, well, I'll be honest with you, I do agree, actually. I think the way that we are seeing this format kind of shape up together, like, let's be honest at this point in time with each other, from me to you, Thrust is an insane card. No matter how you cheese this up, Thrust allows you to play less tack talents. It allows you to have access to any spell or trap effectively in your entire arsenal, and it gives you access to, oh look, I got an evenly match now. It is the entire reason why, like, we can go search for literally any board breaker. And to be truthfully honest with you, the card is that insane. I do have a feeling that Konami is going to put a lot more eyes on Thrust, at least on the TCG side of things, as players continue to look at this card and go, yeah, this is insane. But the problem is Thrust is, you don't see, I think most builds it's a 2 of. So putting it to 1, I mean, it's just, oh, you know, you see it, you kind of sack your opponent at that point. So I think that is something to be left, at least for the limited list, to kind of clean up. But I don't know. I feel like at this point in time, it is a card that does assist in board breaking and, you know, all these other shenanigans, but it is such an insane card when paired with other cards that it's insanely good. That does beg the question of the talents itself should probably be, you know, checked at some point. But that's what we're kind of looking at right now, is Thrust is insane in terms of value. Next up is Pot of Prosperity. No matter how you want to spin this around, ooh, you know, like, no matter how you think this argument's going to go, we all inherently understand that Pot of Prosperity is an insane card. All right, shaving 6 cards off of your extra deck does not matter to about, I mean, Kashtira doesn't care. Kashtira wants to pull the resource automatically. It's like, oh, okay, well, you know, I've accessed my 3 cards that I needed to do whatever OTK / control variation extension play that I need, and I'm just going to win the game. Oh, no, it's half damage, sure. But the thing is, it has become such a crazy consistency enabler at this point in time that people are actually starting to want to see it taken care of. And I do kind of agree with you. I think that we've enabled too much consistency with Pot of Prosperity. Honestly, I do think that the card should probably go to 1 at this stage. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, Robbie, you just want to hurt the consistency of decks. No. Having cards like Pot of Prosperity in the game that enable this super high level of consistency, I would almost compare it to Norden, where you look at the inclusion of this card in these tier 1 decks and it just makes those decks even stronger. And I think that's kind of where our issue lies right now, is while the card does up consistency across the board, it is still a big issue just for giving too much power to everything across the board. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Pot of Prosperity starting to enter into those lists with having eyes on it. But from where we're sitting right now, the card is actually just the absolute insanity. Next up, we're back to the Eradicator epidemic virus discussion. You know, I love the fact that all I've been seeing from people is Eradicator needs to be banned. This card is insane. Once again, we go back to the point of every discussion about this card that we have had for the last couple of years. This card has done nothing. At any point in time that this card was accessible, it was usually nothing too insane. Now, because we're in a format where we're having way more combo variations actually existing that rely more on spells and traps, now is when people want this card to be gone. And Eradicator has been around for years. I think having Eradicator exist as a check to a lot of these heavy spell and trap combo variations in the meta, I don't think is a problem. I think the other big issues with this are how accessible it's become, i.e., Labyrinth being able to pull it out. But it wasn't even Labyrinth this week that was the culprit for it. It was the fact that Kashtira ended up seeing it and was able to blow out the mirror match, where people are like, oh, okay, there is, some sort of potential to all of this. So from where I'm sitting right now, I do think that a lot of people are going to continue to look at Eradicator and go, okay, this is a problem. And that's fine, I guess, at the end of the day. But it doesn't need to go. I think with the way that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is checking things right now, this card is supposed to be our red reboot kind of counter that we've got going on here for what it is, but obviously it's not red reboot at the end of the day, but I feel like this is how they're trying to keep it. But if enough people complain, we'll probably see Eradicator go to 1, and that's going to just be an interesting counter cleanup there. Next up is the Dimension Shifter problem. Now, don't get me wrong here. Shifter has had a decent amount of dial back in the current format. That means it's moved to side decks, but that's not stopping players from still playing the card, because there are a lot of matchups that Dimension Shifter will come in for and will clean up. That's the reason why you saw the OCG actually limit it previously. Well, I mean, semi-limited. It's at 2 in their format, right? Right now, after this weekend, I've read actually countless people complaining about Shifter because it turns Kashtira's entire, engine on, effectively. It's like, okay, well, I hope you're not a graveyard-reliant deck at this point in time, because we're just going to go ahead and scoop vacuum all of this up, and then you're just going to be forced to, not be able to play the game. And that's, once again, where our problem lies here. You've got a power card in a power deck that is able to take advantage of this. Now, if we clean up Kashtira more, then I could see an argument that, what in the format would really want to focus on Dimension Shifter. That would be the only thing that I would look at and go, all right, we can leave Shifter alone in this format, would be additional hits to Kashtira. But at this point in time, with the way that Kashtira is, and I think most people will agree, yeah, it is a strong Tier 1 deck, but compared to Tier Elements, in the reign that Tier had, it is such a more manageable matchup across the board for players that more players are inclined to kind of stick around here and actually, play the format. When you have a good Tier 1 deck, but it's not so unwinnable, and you've got 10 plus decks running around out here in the format, I think that really says something. But Shifter is one of those cards that is contributing to this deck's hyper success, even if it's only like 5 or so %. Then we have the unfun factor here, which is Runic. Now, no matter how I want to spin this here, Runic has been a splash engine problem for quite some time right now. A lot of people are looking at this engine and they're going, yeah, we need to do something about this. We're probably going to see Fountain go to 1, which is going to be the end of the splashable antics of the deck. Because, to be honest with you, it is a problem. No matter how I want to justify it, pure Runic is a deck that is fun, in my opinion. But when you start splashing in the Sprite package, the Live Twin stuff into the deck, that's where you have your next issue here, where all of this advantage, all of this draw power, all of these interruptions, all of this free filtering that you get by implementing these two decks together is the issue. So at this point in time, I do think that Runic is also going to be on the list, just not only for results out of this weekend, but overall for the whole impact that we've seen here. I mean, we're going to toss a little bit of Flunder in here as well. I mean, both Flunder and Runic are pretty unfun. Like, let's call it what it is at this point in time, but it's not like Flunder's had a crazy level of success out here. It's just, with how the engine works and how, you kind of bring everything together for the deck, it's consistency at its finest. So that's where we're sitting right now. I think we have a lot of things out of this weekend. There are a lot of defining things out of this weekend that really, really, really are going to get people to kind of turn some heads and go, yeah, this was a problem, or, you know, this is an annoyance. And we'll have to wait and see. I think we will see some of these things be addressed, but it's an interesting place to be. So please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.